Oh,
Right, we are live. This is Gamer Frolic's reaction to E3 2014. Just a week ago, we had a video uh, detailing everything that we wanted to see at E3, and a lot of it came true, and a lot of it didn't come true.
mm,
So we're here to discuss our reaction to all the major stuff. We can't really go into detail about all the small, like every single thing that was shown, because there's just not enough time. We like to keep this video to about an hour because I think we start losing people after about an hour. So um, let's get started with EA.
They
I
were
have no
horrible.
notes. Yeah.
EA. I guess I'll start by saying something. First off, don't mind my face, but EA mirrors Edge. Yes. Can I get a yes? Please, can I get a
Yes.
yes? Oh, and
What?
everything else was just like, oh, yeah, we saw that coming.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think it was one of the few yes moments for EA for me.
Yeah, yeah, for me as well. Mirror's Edge, I'm really, really looking forward to what they're gonna do with that. First Mirror's Edge, I still play it. Crazy. I rarely play anything other than Street Fighter and Tekken nowadays, but Mirror's Edge, I still play Mirror's Edge, and oh my goodness, cannot wait. The way it looks, oh my gosh, these extra little stunts and all kind of just parkour goodness and landing your foot in people's faces from the sky. Oh, I can't wait.
I like that they looks like they've trying to fix the combat because the combat was okay in the first Mirror's Edge, but it was definitely flawed. I just hope that they don't put more combat in than would really be needed because it's let's face it, it's not like a fighting game. It's not like a first person shooting game. It's a free running game. And I
Yeah,
really hope that they stick to that being the first thing, and then improved combat being the second thing for where combat needs to come up. It's a lot better than it was in the first game.
absolutely, absolutely. Like the one thing I hated about Mirror's Edge was that when you run and just how the combat is supposed to, like you say, it's a running, knock them out, and then just keep going kind of game. And when you stop, you really stop. Like you legit stop. You have to turn around, then go back, and then start again, in which you're still not moving forward. But the way they were explaining it is more going to be more so like you run, you can avoid the combat thing. It was situations in the first one where you really just couldn't. I mean, I get it if it's harder to avoid it, but there were ones you just couldn't avoid it at all. That was very very stupid.
Yeah,
But still love that game. Here's Edge. Come on, bring it, please.
there needs to be more like ways for you to approach stuff differently in
Yeah,
Mirror's
yeah,
Edge too. Like maybe if I want to play I mean, and you think about it, the first game had that like achievement trophy where it was like complete the entire game without, I think, using a gun at all. And it's like, it's not impossible to get, but it's kind of like they don't give you really any sort of alternate paths to do something like that with. You can't just free run around everybody. You kind of have to, it forces you into combat in quite a few places.
exactly. You're just over here like, don't use a gun. Well, don't put me in a position where I need to use a gun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it a little more challenging because, if you're forced into a combat situation, you're obviously going to be tempted to use guns and to just go in and, grab a fallen enemy's weapon and just kill everybody. But, I mean, it would be nice to have more than one just straight shot.
Looking forward to what they're doing with that. Uh, Only other thing that really just interested me about EA was the showing they did for Battlefield Hardline was pretty awesome. Now, I'm really not the first person guy, but when I saw Battlefield 4, I was like, I'm buying that. I know I still haven't bought it, but but I was like, I'm getting that. But now seeing this Battlefield Hardline, it looks really awesome, like super awesome.
I feel like with EA, what they did was they kind of brought out everything that fans really wanted to see all at once. Like, a lot of people wanted to see more from Dragon Age and Mass Effect 4 and Battlefront, and they just like did that all at once. And then they brought out like The Sims and like all the sports games and stuff. And it's like it feels. I mean, they brought it back with Mirror's Edge, and they brought it back with. I mean, they showed the Battlefield stuff, which was exciting. I mean, to me, I'm not a Battlefield person, so I was like, eh. But you know, at least was more. It wasn't just, oh, we're going to end on Madden. Because it's like, the people who like Madden games aren't really the people who get super hyped about E3.
Right.
And it's like, I still think that EA needs to figure out a way to properly split everything and have, you know, just kind of alternate between their games. You know, do like Dragon Age, FIFA, Mass Effect, Madden, you know, Mirror's Edge, what else did they do? The golf, UFC, you know, Sims, stuff like that. They need to break it up, and they need to not kind of group everything together, because for a lot of people it's like, all right, well, if you want people to stay through your whole show and not have specific chunks be, oh, bathroom break time, you know, you need to divide it a little better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally, because that whole sports break, I kind of like got up, went to the bathroom. I think I fixed it.
I was like, oh, good, time for me to go to the bathroom and refill my soda. Okay, bye.
Oh, Madden's coming on. Oh, okay. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I mean, the sports game that I guess got me most excited was that golf thing. Like, you know, golfing with explosions, I was laughing. Like, I think it would be something that I would probably get, like, maybe a couple years down the road, where there's, you know, obviously been a whole pile of new yearly golf titles since then, and, you know, it's like bargain bin cheap. But it does look like something fun that would be just something to kind of, you know, pick up and play if, you know, I just got home from work or something, just for the fun of it.
To make a boring game fun again.
Yeah, golfing over exploding battleships.
Then again, there is Mario Golf, so we can just stick to that.
Yeah, that is very true.
Make it all, just make it all worth it at least. Yeah. But as far as their presentation overall, I think it was kind of pretty poor. If it wasn't for, I know that like most of the people there, if they wanted anything, they wanted to hear about Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
Yeah, and Battlefield and Mirror's Edge. I mean, those were the four big things. And I mean, with Dragon Age, what they showed, I think, was good. It was nice to see gameplay from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole Mass Effect thing, like, everybody online was, you know, kind of pissed because of with Mass Effect and them announcing a new IP, and with Battlefront even too. Everybody was like, all right, you know, we know these games are coming, and it's good that you're at least confirming that they're coming, but they didn't have really anything to show besides a bunch of people just showing concept art, which is cool, but I don't know. A lot of people were kind of upset that they didn't do much beyond that. I was okay with it personally, but from what I saw over the internet, there was some kind of discord over it.
Yeah. I mean, I can get why, because everybody's interactive. They're gamers. They're not art majors, so they want to see gameplay. That's all they know. They're basically just consumers. They don't really care about the art behind it. People even get collector's editions just because of if it has downloadable content. They can care less about the art book.
I'm an art book person. Like, I will pre-order it for that, you know, big, exciting 150-page art lore book thing. I mean, I shelled out the $100 for the ESO Heroes Guide, so I love lore and I love art. But yeah, you're right. They're, you know, and I think E3 is, while it's a very visual thing, I think that a lot of people are getting tired of seeing just like concept art and trailers from E3. People want, you know, they're going in expecting gameplay from a lot of stuff. And yeah, Mass Effect 4 is certainly not far along that they can really show gameplay, but a lot of people who I saw had complaints against it were like, all right, well then don't show it at all. Which that's not my mindset, but I'm just saying what I saw on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I guess it wasn't too bad. I know a couple people back home who probably got super hype about Battlefront being talked about or whispered. Yeah, but whatever, you know. Hmm. That's really all I got on mine with EA.
Likewise. Ubisoft, anyone?
Oh yes, I was I was pretty pleased with Ubisoft actually. Because I stopped playing Assassin's Creed. I had to came to a point where I just stopped playing. Like I didn't even bother with Black Flag. I didn't care about the DLC. I didn't even finish Assassin's Creed 3. It was all I was just tired of it. But how big of a deal they're making Unity, it looks like yeah, like that's another yes moment. That and last year when they announced the division, uh, I was like, look at it, look at it, look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for the Division 2, but it's like, are they going to do what they did with Watch Dogs, which was show us all this wonderful, gorgeous stuff that has us drooling and then downgrade the living crap out of it when it comes out?
Look at the bright side. People, let's look at the bright side. I don't know. You gotta. They have been doing that lately, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man. You know, I probably wouldn't even notice unless you had just said it right now. Well, I think they're. I think what they're doing is they're making timelines that they can't really match. This is why they're downgrading so heavily.
Could be. I mean, their excuse for Watch Dogs being late was they didn't want to have to compete with all the big games coming out around that November time where all the big games come out. And I think that maybe they thought it was maybe too similar to Grand Theft Auto 5 in a lot of ways, which had just come out and people were still losing their minds over.
Yeah.
But I think they weren't ready either.
I mean, honestly, they had enough hype behind it to where if
Yeah.
they would have. I feel like if they would have delayed it again, they would have just built more hype off of it. People weren't getting very ticked off about it being delayed. If
No.
anything, they were being more. What's the word I want to use? Um, for lack of a better word, excited that or I really can't think of the word, but they're more. Somebody help me. Anticipating more for the game to come out because all that hype, the hype don't go away. If somebody were to hate to jump ahead, but if somebody were to say that Smash Brothers would be delayed, they'd be upset. But it's just the anticipation behind it is it's not gonna go away.
No, it's more
Yeah.
like it kind of builds and either it'll just go into stasis or it'll build more. So big deal.
That's where I'm at. I will march to Nintendo. Don't even get me started. Anyway, but I really hope that that Division is what it's made out to be because it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah. I really want that to deliver, and the crew, the crew, the Division, and Far Cry and I mean Valiant Hearts. Valiant Hearts looks amazing too. Those were definitely my tops for Ubisoft. I did not lose my mind over Assassin's Creed Unity. I was kind of like, oh, BYOB, build your own brotherhood. Okay, well, that's it's cool and I like it, but I really, really loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but at the same time, I think it was a better pirate game than it was an assassin game. Like an Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed game, rather. and I don't know if they're going to be able to continue going with good Assassin's Creed games, so I don't think it's going to be something that like I pre-order and go crazy for. It might be like, well, if it turns out that it's really amazing and that all the missions aren't the same thing, I'll pick it up, but it's not anything that I was like, oh my god, I need this, right now.
Yeah. They're gonna have to work awfully hard to pull that off because like they've done it all basically. Like we've climbed up every building, we've spiked every bad guy in the forehead, whipped people and stabbed them with swords while they lay there on the ground. We jumped off every building. The only thing we haven't done is done backflips and all the other stuff off the buildings. Like
I'm still. Oh, well, go ahead.
I was they're just slowly moving about history, but like acrobatics have been the same throughout
Yeah,
time.
and they're not the controls aren't even like they're just not good in Assassin's Creed games. You'll go to like jump off and like go like leap off a wall or something, and your character will just be like, "Ah, nope," and ballet off into the wall or the water or like a pile of enemies, and it's like, "Oh, congratulations! That was exactly the opposite of what you wanted to do." I'm still surprised that they haven't jumped on the. Well, I think Ubisoft had said that they're definitely not doing a like Ninja Assassin's Creed just because they thought it was too cliche. I think I remember someone telling me that they had said that. But I'm kind of surprised that they didn't jump on the like Assassin's Creed Viking Skyrim bandwagon.
That would be alright.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool if they had managed to do it right. It would have been pretty interesting change of pace, but I don't foresee them doing it now that they're going like French Revolution kind of stuff.
I think they will do is zombie ninja assassins from space. They're
That's
gonna
when we stop playing, guys. That's when we have to stop playing Assassin's Creed, is when that happens.
Yes.
stop well
That
before.
will be the final game.
Yeah, right. Desmond will be back as a zombie.
What did everybody think of Far Cry 4?
Woo!
I haven't played a Far Cry game, so I didn't really care, but I at the same time, it looks really pretty.
So,
Looks like fun.
now I've witnessed the hype behind Far Cry 3 and how huge of a deal it was, and apparently Far Cry is a really big freaking deal. But just like Tommy, I haven't actually dove deep into a Far Cry, but it looks really good. Like even just the voice acting itself, just a little bit that we could see, I would say that's going to be something else that kind of tops the charts as well. That's a that game was really good, and I saw the other footage that was on one of the other conferences, which was pretty sweet. But it's kind of like a kind of outlandish too. It's like all these random, all these random instances. Okay, I'm driving. Well, mountain is breaking down. Okay, flight suit. Yeah, I'll just wear a flight suit under my church. It's,
Um, I don't remember what I was going to say, so.
flight suit. Flight suit. They might have flight suit. No.
Yeah, the, like, bird thing. I like the villain.
The villain. Yeah, hey, he's pretty cool. I like the. I'm trying to see what they're gonna do with this elephant. Apparently,
Well,
like the elephant is tails, like Sonic tails. Stupid
yeah.
side.
Well, in the third game, a big part of liberating, like, the outposts and stuff like that was, you could do a more stealth approach, and, like, if you could find a sniping position, a lot of those, like, outposts with the bad guys in them, they had caged tigers. And if you had, like, a good sniper rifle, you could just snipe the cage door open and just release the tiger, and then naturally, the tiger is just going to go crazy and start attacking all the bad guys. So it's like you have effectively cleared out a whole bunch of the guys at once. I mean, yeah, they will eventually kill the tiger, but it saves some work and some bullets for you. Yeah, but I agree with the voice acting though. I think the voice acting sounds a lot better this time around. That was my big issue with Far Cry 3 was points where you're supposed to be rescuing your friends and this is like a life or death horrifying situation. It just the voice acting was horrible. It did not sound believable at all, and I'm hoping that they change that. And yeah, I like the villain. The elephant thing looks like a great addition. So I'm very excited for Far Cry 3. And then Valiant Hearts, I hope it gets good reception because I'm tired of people like getting all excited for indie games and then
Not supporting.
and then not supporting them, or like they play them and they like just bash the crap out of them and give them horrible reviews, and it's like it's not very it just looks bad, and it's like it's kind of discouraging for people who want to make indie games.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad with stuff like that because of that. It's just making it seem like all the stuff that we mainstream wasn't indie at one point.
Yeah.
It's like innovation is like frowned upon these days. Seems like now E3 this year has not been very innovative, and people are okay with it. I think E3 should be innovative. There wasn't really very much innovation in anything other than Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, well, I mean, even like stuff that's not actual indie games, that's just like, smaller things that aren't obvious AAA titles that are, they're just on a smaller scale and, things like that. People just automatically are like, oh, that's, if it's not blowing everything up, then I don't want it.
Right. And that's really indie games is where all the innovation's coming from these days.
Hmm.
To be totally honest. Yeah, that's really all I got on my mind about those guys too. But there's
Yeah,
not very much innovation between EA and Ubisoft. I mean, creativity, yes. Innovation, no. There's no real game changes. So
that's actually what I wrote down. I was like, for my conclusion for both of them was that they kind of continue to be more of same with very very few exceptions kind of thrown in there. And yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's still more of same.
yeah, I mean, it's not that they were bad because they're delivering. They're delivering, so it's not bad. It's just that they're not living up to what I think E3 should be, and I think E3 should be innovative. Like building up a new system should be the only thing that makes me want to watch E3. I'm gonna watch it anyway. If you could
Yeah.
actually face, you'd see how big my glasses are.
So, are we moving on from the two big publishers?
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably cover Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo now. Who should we start with? Microsoft because they went first.
Yes,
Sure,
please.
we'll go in order.
I was very, very impressed with Microsoft, and I'm not. I'm to be honest, I'm like a Sony Nintendo guy. Like I don't care for Microsoft at all, but I was very, very impressed with Microsoft.
It was games this time around. It wasn't TV, and more TV. It was, oh, hey, here's games that you will actually enjoy playing on our new system. Here you go. Like, it was just all games, and I was so, so happy. I mean, they opened with Call of Duty, which I thought was,
Smart.
like, but,
Cliche.
yeah, I mean, it's cliche as hell, but it's like Call of Duty Xbox is, that's the Xbox bro crowd, so that kind of drew those people in. I was very disappointed in more timed DLC because I'm sick of timed DLC and I'm sick of exclusive DLC for games that are not exclusive, and Sony and Microsoft are both guilty of that this year. Again, some more. I got really excited for Evolve, even though that's not exclusive. I'm very glad that they showed more gameplay and a new monster.
Hmm.
They did more Assassin's Creed. They did more Dragon Age.
I said Overdrive.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should focus on the exclusives. Sunset Overdrive.
I want it. And
Yeah, I mean, if they
mm,
can pull it off, it'll be great.
it's Insomniac. They gonna pull it off. I
It,
love Insomniac.
I do too. And like when they came out with Fuse, I still haven't played Fuse, but everyone has said that it was like really mediocre and a letdown. It was kind of trying to be Borderlands meets like Ratchet and Clank. But Sunset Overdrive looks like an adult targeted Ratchet and Clank, where it's just out there to be bright and colorful and just wacky fun. And I'm so excited for that because that's the big thing that I've missed from, like everything that was PS2 and earlier was about just, fun. I mean, that's not saying that I don't like games that have heavy stories and, focus on all kinds of like decision making and stuff, because I do, but I miss games that were just fun. And it seemed like if you wanted something that was just fun, you had to buy a Lego game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
like
need more
RPG
just
type.
fun games. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. And
Oh.
I can say, I didn't watch the Microsoft conference because I was at work, but um, I I am impressed with the fact that they played more games, and especially this is what I heard a lot about. People were starting to lose their minds about because it looked different.
Yeah.
So kudos to Microsoft. I never thought I'd say that, but kudos to Microsoft.
It was pretty too because they humbled themselves a whole lot this time around. They weren't being
Oh yeah.
they were not being anywhere near as douchey. Matter of fact, they were our friends here at Nintendo and
Yeah. I
Sony
was dying.
don't
They
pick
were
on
like,
us, so please.
yeah, they were like, here at E3, we join our friends over at Sony and Nintendo. I was like, what? Aren't you guys like the really angry, aggressive douchebag competitors? Like, I mean, God, I know Sony can sometimes get like really childish about like their ads and like poking fun and stuff, but damn, Microsoft, like, way to tone it down. I, aside from Sunset Overdrive, the bunch of things that really impressed me were I was happy to see Crackdown come back. I have not played any of the Crackdown games, but I know that a couple people I know even were really hoping that they would do a third Crackdown game, so it was nice to see that. Scalebound looks really cool. I just wish it wasn't a pre-rendered trailer, but again, it's probably early stages, so at least it's a new IP and it looks like a lot of fun. And Witcher 3 looks amazing. They focused on more indie games, and Inside looks really creepy. The thing that stuck out to me the most was Project Spark, which is again one of those, if they can make it where building your own game and your RPG kind of thing works, and it's the interfaces are easy to use, and it's something that's manageable for anybody, and it works properly, it's going to be amazing. And then the thing that just floored me was Ori and the Blind Forest. I would buy an Xbox One for that game. Like, I would buy an Xbox One and play just that game and Sunset Overdrive and be happy.
I agree. One thing that really turned me on was that the Phantom Dust Scalebound looked really sweet, and the showing they had for Dragon Age Inquisition was really nice. The showing
was, but don't get me started on that because I'm super pissed off about why it was there first.
Well, okay, we're talking about
It just all goes back to that timed and exclusive DLC, which is, like I said, it's a problem on all systems, but it's especially a problem. Well, actually, I think timed DLC is a bigger problem on Microsoft systems, and then I would say that exclusive DLC for non-exclusive games is a bigger issue on Sony.
Yeah.
Because they, especially with Ubisoft games, they will give all kinds of exclusive DLC to PlayStation users that PC and Xbox users will never get, and I don't think that that's very fair. Um, Especially because the games are on all platforms.
Yep.
Halo 5 obviously showed up. Hooray! They're betaing it this time, so 343 learned. The Master Chief Collection, I think, is going to really, really help them. Not necessarily sell Xbox Ones, but for Xbox One owners and obvious owners of like all the other Halo games. I mean, people with Halo is so huge that they will rebuy it just because if you think about the first two games were on the original Xbox and PC, and nobody really plays. I don't know if the servers are still up for the PC, but I know the servers are no longer there for the original Xbox, so there's no more online for that. When they kill off the servers for 360, which I don't think they're supposed to do until like 2017, but even still, it's going to breathe life back into all the Halo games and the Halo multiplayer, and that's going to be a good thing for them.
I'll tell you what is going to happen. Halo 2 is going to be all the rage. Because 2, like, honestly, if you ask me, like, with my experience with Halo, 2 was the best one, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, flat line. 2 was the best one. 2 was the one. I'm not going to bring up any dirty laundry, but I lost some friendships because of Halo 2. But it was great. It was really awesome. And the way the multiplayer went, it was so much better than what they did with 3 and with 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word.
I mean, I didn't mind Halo Reach's multiplayer, but that was kind of the only thing that I liked about Halo Reach. I wasn't nuts on the actual storyline itself, but I thought their multiplayer was decent.
I didn't like it. I didn't even care to start the campaign. I never even started the campaign in Halo Reach. And like I just borrowed it and was like, you mind? And they're like, all right, I'm like, dude, all right, multiplayer.
Just wondering, what did everybody think of like the Call of Duty? Like, I thought it felt like they're trying to be more along the lines of like Killzone or Crisis, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for the series, but let's face it, their target audience is like, people who just are totally content with like more of same and nothing really innovative. They just want new multiplayer every year.
I feel like they're trying to like put Titanfall and Call of Duty together.
Mm.
Kind of what that felt like because of the huge robots and whatnot. And the double jump, that was a double jump. I don't care what anybody said. That was a freaking double jump. I own Titanfall, so I know what it sounded like. That was the same sound effect and everything. You can't trick me. But it doesn't feel very like I thought it was pretty. Like they always have some cool stuff in Call of Duty. There's always some cool, not real stuff in it, like the transitional grenades they had on there, whatever. Advanced warfare, yeah, I get it, but they're still not changing anything. Honestly, if you ask me, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that really won't affect you as a player. So like even if the building crashes, then that's because it was gonna crash in the game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all cinematic, just like it's always been.
Exactly. So it's really just a big action-packed cinematic game that's not really changing anything. It's just, oh look, that building fell. Well,
one giant explosion.
Yeah, that one building explodes. That one building. That was supposed to happen, guys. Get over yourselves. And
I mean, I think it looks good.
it does.
I probably am going to play it. I complain about Call of Duty, and we all complain about lack of innovation in Call of Duty, and then they do something different, and then we all go, that's too different.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make is, everyone's saying, oh, Call of Duty needs better, and then something new, and they change it, and then we're like, what did you do? You broke it.
You know, we live in a if it ain't broke, don't fix it society anyway.
Hmm.
But you know what? The last Call of Duty that I played, that I actually bought, was Black Ops 2, and that was different and weird, but I actually liked it.
It
I
wasn't
haven't
bad.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty since the original Black Ops, and I was so horrifically like let down. I mean, the multiplayer was okay, but I'm terrible at Call of Duty multiplayer. I am a lot better, and I have a lot more enjoyment with Halo. So that was the
I,
last Call of Duty I bought.
I've seen. I don't think you shoot anybody unless it's in the head.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, no,
Yeah.
I Halo's the game that I would rather play multiplayer in rather than Call of Duty.
Well,
Um,
I'll be playing Street Fighter if anybody's looking for me. But
All right. Do we
well,
want to? Is one more thing I see?
I have one last thing, real quick about Microsoft was Fable Legends. I was so horrifically conflicted on it because, again, the past few Fable games horrible. I said that in the pre-E3 video, and what I saw looked okay, but then it didn't. So I'm still I'm so on the fence about it that it's a case of when I do finally acquire an Xbox One, will be something that I will only buy if by word of mouth and reviews everyone says is really good, or if they release like a demo and I can play it for myself and see it and like it. But it didn't manage to sell me on the fact that the series has been redeemed yet.
yeah, you know, they didn't really say anything about it. Didn't really show anything on it. But as E3, well, as the Microsoft conference was going off, I saw a quick little glimpse of the Mighty Number Nine. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but the Mighty Number Nine, that Mega Man remake kind of reboot kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that was in amongst like the when they were talking about like indie games and
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, I did briefly see that.
That got me so hyped because growing up, I was playing Mega Man X, Mega Man 1 through 3. I never had the other ones, but that got me really hyped, and that kind of turned my heart around a little bit. But Microsoft's conference was good. It was very good. I liked it. They focused on games and not Xbox Snap.
Yeah, Xbox, fetch my slippers.
Right. I mean, they basically made Xbox Siri. Siri, fix this sandwich.
Yeah, they did. They were trying to make Xbox into Siri, and it's like, all right, look, if I want an entertainment system, I'm going to kind of get a Blu-ray player and a DVR and a game system and all that stuff, and I'm going to do it myself. I don't want it all wrapped into what is supposed to be a thing that I am playing my games on. I mean, Netflix is fine and stuff like that, but I don't need to do that at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never watch TV and play the game at the same time anyway. Like I would have to forcibly make myself cross-eyed just to do that. Like, like, all right, let's try this again. Let's try this again, guys. But whatever. I really enjoyed Microsoft's conference. I thought it was very good. There wasn't any, just like the other two so far. Wasn't really any real innovation, but what they had was good. It was very good. It was pleasing, very pleasing.
All right, let's move on to Sony if that's it. See,
Yeah.
Sony is the one that I did manage to watch, but it kind of
Watch
took a little bit
Nintendo?
of, huh?
Did you watch Nintendo?
No, I didn't, but I was at work then too. I know, I
Well,
heard a lot about Nintendo is that people weren't expecting it to be good, and then it was. So
Anyway,
well,
we'll get there. We'll start.
we'll get
Start.
there.
wait till we get there.
Sony, I was kind of just in the middle of it, it was kind of whatever, right? Like the beginning was really good and then the end was really good, but the middle was really, really boring.
I think that their flow was, if I had to rate them on the content they showed, great. Like, I loved so much of what I saw, but in comparison to the flow of Microsoft and Nintendo, Sony definitely had the worst flow of all the presentations. It got, I mean, I love seeing things like Twitch and the PSTV and, all that other stuff, Powers, the Ratchet and Clank movie, that was fine by me. But it was like, to put all that towards the end, that should have been earlier in the presentation, because that just, it like felt like it was just dragging, and it really just kind of didn't do it for me. And I mean, plus they should have gotten all their PS3 to PS4 ports out of the way. Like Grand Theft Auto, Last of Us, those should have all been like right at the beginning.
Oh yeah. But they started off with Destiny. They had to start with Destiny because they're making a big deal out of it for PlayStation. Yeah. So that was a good opener. I thought that was good to have that as an opener for sure.
It was. I think, but I mean, look at, like, they went Destiny, and then they did the white console, and then they did a whole pile of games, and then they started going back to, like, actual, like, peripherals and apps for, like, the Twitch and stuff, and the movies and the shows. It's like, why didn't you put that right after that console? That would have made so much more sense if they had rearranged it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it should have been, the order should have been like Alex said, the console, the peripherals, and then probably the movies, then the games. Like opening it with Destiny, then jumping to the console, and then jumping to the peripheral. That would have kind of been, well, that kind of was stupid. Or actually very, really, super stupid.
Yeah.
But it was very stupid.
Do Destiny, punch everybody in the face with Destiny, and then, like, chill out a little bit, and then keep building it up and up and up again, and then just blow everybody away at the end. I mean, to me, Uncharted at the end wasn't oh my god, because I like Uncharted, but it wasn't for me. But
what they showed wasn't really all that exciting.
No, it wasn't.
It was just like, here, we are making a game. Okay, well, we knew you were making a game.
Yeah.
I'm upset that didn't show. Y'all forgive me. Forgive me. They said nothing about Kingdom Hearts 3. Nothing about 2.5. Which, I mean, you don't really have to say anything about 2.5. The game's already spoken for, basically. But Final Fantasy 15, come on, man.
That should have been.
That's all I wanted.
Square Enix went in, though, saying that they weren't going to do anything for it. They were like, oh, we're not showing any Final Fantasy stuff. We're not doing Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, it... And, like, didn't they, when they were doing it, they did show, like, brief glimpses of at least what I think was 2.5 for Kingdom Hearts, like, when they were doing their, like, close thing, and it's like, okay, well, you showed us, like, a flash of Sora and Keyblades, and that was it. Like, there was nothing else.
It was like, hey, Sora, no! They just closed Sora out. They're like, you don't do that to Sora. You talk about Sora. Give him his Sora time.
Yeah.
Alright, so should we talk about what we did see? Just talk about the content that we saw and not necessarily the flow of the show.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see gameplay for the Order because we haven't seen gameplay for it actually yet.
That let me down like mad.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like they sucked out all the steampunk from it. I thought the, like, werewolf monsters things look horrible in their design, at least. They look like that really crappy werewolf design from that Harry Potter movie, from Prisoner of Azkaban, and it looked like the same old dark hallway, over-the-shoulder Resident Evil shooter style, and I was just like, you had, like, what I had originally thought of it was, it has so much potential, but what they showed to me, at least, was just such a letdown that I just, unless I see more that's good that I like, I probably won't even bother really getting it.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to expect because I hadn't even followed the Order or anything like that. So I didn't really know what to expect. So for me, when I saw it, it made me think of what was that one game? Fear 2 is what I think it was. Kind of like a you walk up and this thing starts transforming and now it's chasing you. But it kind of blew my mind how this giant zombie thing that looks like the little thing from the Lord of the Rings with the precious and it's chasing him and he's just knocking the guy out all around the place and he's struggling to get his weapon back. Like that thing, I don't know. I wasn't very impressed with the screenplay of it, but the way it looked and I guess I really don't know the idea behind it. The way it looked and its presentation was actually very.
I think it looked pretty. I guess we'll see how it plays, but it looked like it was a little bit of a slow, like it was just like a trudging game, and I don't know. I expected a little bit more fast pace from the trailer they showed us last year.
Yeah, they showed like stuff zooming around and like lunging at the carriage that they were in. And it, like I said, it looked like they kind of just sucked out all the serious steampunk elements for just shooter. And yeah, I mean, we only saw a little bit of it, so they might bring stuff back, but it didn't do enough to impress me.
I feel like they didn't like to show the emotion of the game and just show the bad part. I think that's what it is. They really just show a bad segment of the game.
Oh, probably. They probably could have picked something better to show.
Because you're supposed to build hype and like obviously that game has had hype built on it for like the last year and some change. But you're supposed to build hype with stuff like that and they didn't really do that with what they showed. I
No.
don't it'd be I don't think it's gonna automatically be a bad game because of what they didn't show, but I mean it looked good. It was like Tom was pretty. It was cute.
There is a new trailer for it beyond what they showed at the conference. There is new footage on the PlayStation website, which does look a little bit more exciting. So check that out at some point. But yeah. But what really got me excited was No Man's Sky, and I expressed myself on the video last week about what we wanted to see, and we've got to see more No Man's Sky, and oh my god.
Seriously, oh my god. I sat there the entire time on the couch with this look on my face like I could tear my eyes from the screen. The house could have exploded around me and I would have still been staring at that screen. I was absolutely floored by what they showed, and what I said about Ori and the Blind Forest with the Xbox One, No Man's Sky will make me buy a PS4, and if they release it on Steam, I'll buy it for Steam too. Like, it just looks amazing.
You know, like I think it's kind of a bad thing for me, but like these really super expansive games like that just build off creativity. I really suck at those. I'm, I'm not very creative at all. I guess I don't know, but I don't know. I guess I'm more like mission driven. I need to be directed kind of thing. I can't even take Grand Theft Auto that seriously anymore because of I guess it's because I have a lot to do these days or so. I don't know. But like
No Minecraft for you?
with boundaries, like that's for me in my tiny little brain that's probably like the size of a pencil eraser. It's it's very that's a very innovative idea to make a game so expansive as such. It's like it's beyond an MMO. It's beyond a first person experience. It's beyond like far beyond like a lot of things that we have today that are temporary. And that game is like freaking eternal. Things like it's almost like Spore, except Spore is I don't even think Spore is as eternal as this No Man's Sky is. But that's really freaking cool how they're doing that. Like the color scheme is weird though. I probably have to see it playing it.
It is bright and colorful, and it looks like every planet is going to be different looking, and that's exciting.
I
So
would
they
just to like make a disco world and like have disco balls.
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
That would be awesome.
I feel like that game is just going to be like, once I get it, it's going to be such a bad time sink for me because I'm just going to go everywhere. I'm going to be like, I have to see all the planets. Oh, well, there's infinite planets. Shut up!
Playing. No!
I'm going to play this game till I die!
Grandma, what is this game? You must never go there, Simba.
um,
Broforce was pretty cool looking.
yeah.
This is probably just one of those man games. That was really, really awesome though. It tickled me, so I was like, yeah, let me write that down.
Did it show some cool indie stuff, which
Yeah.
I have forgotten most of it. Sorry.
Abzu, that
Yes.
underwater thing. Oh, I want
That
it.
looks cool.
And I don't remember, was Let It Die an indie thing, or was that just like a new thing? I mean, that like really freaky, dark, gritty.
It didn't interest me, so I didn't write anything on it.
It interested me, but I can already predict that it's going to be met with a lot of controversy just with how excessively violent and bloody it looks, and it will probably end up being. So, it's gonna have some bumps in the road for it, but I am excited for it. What did we think of Little Big Planet 3?
That's exciting. I mean, everybody loves Little Big Planet.
It was really cute. I thought it was cute. Like really
Those
cute.
new facts.
It was really cute. Did I say it was cute? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's Little Big Planet. You know, you can't not like Little Big Planet. If you do, then something's wrong with you.
I love how they didn't do anything. They just blam, Little Big Planet 3.
Yeah, right. This is Little Big Planet 3. You have all the same tools. You have all the same characters, except two. What was it? Three more? Two
Three extras, yeah. You got new sacks. I never thought I'd say that, but new sacks.
more. You use all of the path levels from the first two games. That's pretty sweet. You probably can get all the DLC back, maybe. I mean, that would be well worth it instead of having to. Like my whole thing is the reason why I still have my PS3 is because I bought a lot of DLC, and I would really hate to transition from my PS3 to my PS4 and lose all that DLC that I paid for. That's my money, man.
Yeah.
It would break my heart, but whatever. I'm cheap too, so.
I think about like Little Big Planet 3, like when that got announced, the whole world just in unison just went like all at once. And that was a great moment. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh Big Planet. And these are guys. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I know. What about Bloodborne? That was what Project Beast turned out to be from Software, and it's this new thing, Bloodborne. I want more. Like, I was looking at my girlfriend and I both were looking at the screen, going, "Oh, new thing from people who did Dark Souls. Gimme, 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 gimme."
I heard it was a spiritual successor to Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's like well, I mean, Demon Souls and Dark Souls are tied anyways, but yeah, it's supposed to be like a successor, but it's still technically a like new thing. So I just like that whole universe, so I'm excited for it, and it looks like it's hopefully going to kick your butt even more. So bring it on.
And we know that probably means that Dark Souls 2 is not going to come to PS4.
Good.
No, I don't think they wanted it to, because they released it only PC, 360, PS3. I don't think they ever had plans to bring it over to this new gen.
Yeah, so obviously they got on something fairly quick to do for next gen, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it wasn't Dark Souls 3. If they like automatically turned around and a year later had Dark Souls 3 after they had Dark Souls 2, there would be a little bit of, uh, you know, people might be a little leery
Yeah.
to look at it because it came out so quick. So they did something different, but in the same universe, so to speak.
What about Dead Island 2? I thought it looked like it was moving back towards what Dead Rising originally started as. And I mean, yeah, Microsoft showed that like crazy fun, wacky Dead Rising DLC, but I think that Dead Island 2 looks like that more just kind of, I don't want to call a zombie game like whimsical. It's not the word I'm looking for.
But it is a little bit.
Yeah, it is. That wacky, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Hey, so Riptide wasn't like a sequel? Hmm.
It
Wow.
was like I don't know. I saw mixed feelings about Dead Island 2, at least on all social media. Like either some people were saying, "Oh, I loved the both Dead Island games and they were great," and then other people were like, "I hated both of them. I gave them both a shot, and they've just they've left a bad taste in my mouth, and I don't want anything to do with them." Um, I'm tired of zombies.
Yeah, let's be honest. There's a lot of zombies.
Well, there's always the zombie aliens from space.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie ninjas from space.
Zombie ninja aliens from space.
Mm, it's coming. It's coming.
And what else was there?
There was
Uh,
that. I'm on my way.
uh, Mortal Kombat X. Are we calling it X or are we calling it 10?
It's 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 X, calling it X, but whatever.
I've heard it called 10, and then I heard it called X, and
I think because the one that they called simply Mortal Kombat is technically Mortal Kombat 9, or like other people call it Mortal Kombat 9, I think they went with X because Roman numerals. I think it's just them like
Yeah,
messing with you and they don't know what to do anymore.
sure.
wrong because Mortal Kombat was the last Mortal Kombat was 9, so that is why it's called X. But that it looks really good actually.
It looks good. Yeah.
Like it's I don't too much play Mortal Kombat because of certain things. I don't like how blocky it plays for me. Like it runs smooth, but like I don't like how blocky it plays. I don't know if I can make that make sense. But me being the fighting game guy, I can do that.
Yeah.
There was very little Vita presence, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They kind of were
Ah,
like, oh, the Vita's still a thing. You should buy it because there's a couple good things that are going to be doing okay. Now moving on.
I expected them to do something stupid like, well, we're not giving you any games for the Vita, but we will let you download the Snapchat app or something.
Yeah, we'd really like it if you would buy a PS Vita.
Well, we can give you Instagram, it'll be free.
They gave you Minecraft.
Right, yeah.
True.
But actually, there were a few video titles they mentioned, and they didn't really do anything with them that were interesting to me. The
Yeah.
the Freedom Wars, the Ibuki strip, that they had that little video or whatever. But the Akibu strip and Race the Sun, which was really cool looking little racing game that looked really cool. Tales of Hearts. Now, see, what I don't know about that was if it's part of the, like Tales of Graces, Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Celia, part of that group. I imagine that it is because Tales of, but you just never know. You never know. They
Probably.
something with this Vita. They need to. Oh, it's making me angry. They need to put these Kingdom Hearts ports on the Vita. These HD remakes. That's how they have the Final Fantasy remake, like the Jack and Daxter remakes and Ratchet and Clank one that's coming out. They need to put these on the Vita. If they want to sell the Vita, if they want the Vita to succeed, and all you're gonna do is make ports, then at least port something valuable. Well, I
Yeah, at
guess
least port some stuff people want to see. If you're not even gonna bother doing anything that's like exclusive games that you can only get on the Vita. You at least need ports that people care about.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I'm done with them and asking them to do stuff for the Vita. I really feel like I bought one just to use it as a controller for my PlayStation.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them saying, "Oh, well, there's a lot of like free to play stuff coming." Like it, right underneath that it said something like, games shown with like added content and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, it's free to play, but it's going to be pay to win. So you
Right.
can free to play it, but if you want to have any sort of fun, you're going to need to shell out money to buy weapons and armor and mounts and DLCs and all that stuff.
The stuff you can't do. Man. What else was interesting? Infamous First Light.
That looks interesting.
Yeah.
They had me until her powers were pink.
So they were
Have you?
pink.
Oh, I guess you haven't played
Second.
Second Son. She's in Second Son. She's a
Is she?
character. Yeah.
Okay.
So her powers are neon, like
Is
neon signs.
Is that who he got
Oh yeah.
his powers from?
You can absorb that power in Second Son. You can use neon powers, and it's kind of cool.
I heard about the neon powers. I didn't know that she was in it. Yeah, I haven't played Infamous Second Son yet. But like, pink. Ah. Like it just,
Okay.
I was just like, cool, female character, and then pink, and I was like, flip table.
Yeah, but when you use it as a guy, it's still pink
Oh,
in Second Son. So it doesn't change to blue or anything. It's still pink.
It's still
and
pink.
apparently they're like optimizing the wow, I'm at a loss for words. What was it? The the way it looks, for lack of my word that I'm trying to find. Apparently they're upgrading it. It didn't look good enough in Second Son for them apparently.
Yeah.
They can't make it look too much better. I mean, this is just going to be an expansion, basically, right? It's going to be like a $30-40 game.
They said it was gonna be a standalone.
Yeah, but it's not. It's probably not going to be a full. Like, it's not going to be like Second Son. It's going to be what was that? What was that expansion that they had for the first one?
Festival of Blood.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
But that was standalone too, though, right?
Yeah. Festival of Blood was a standalone thing. That was, like, I got behind Festival of Blood more than I did, like, the normal Infamous. So.
Oh well, we already touched on Infamous 4, didn't we? I mean, not Infamous, Uncharted.
Uncharted. Yeah.
Weird. I think should we move on to Nintendo now?
Yes, we should. Yeah. We could keep talking, but we got to get wrapped up, and I think we all are excited about the Nintendo conference.
Yes. I love Nintendo. I really do.
I do too. And I've been saying for 2 years now, I still have faith in Nintendo. I'm not giving up, and they came through. And I'll say it, I was right.
You were right. I think it was funny because when I first started watching it, and they had that claymation thing, I'm sitting there on my couch, I'm like, am I looking at the Nintendo conference or am I watching Robot Chicken? Like, what is happening here? And, that whole, like, crazy, fun, wacky sense, I was like, okay, I'm digging this. They like, at one point started, like, making fun of themselves, and I'm like, okay, that works for me, Nintendo.
Starflux. What about a Mother 3? That was awesome.
How about Super Smash Brothers? You can use me now, and you can use those, what is it, Amiibo? Amiibo?
Now, we've been talking about innovation, and this is innovation. Nintendo is always, leave it to Nintendo to be innovative. Leave them to be the only guys to always bring something new. That's why I love Nintendo.
Hmm.
Guys. they would make a cell phone and like it also has a toaster on it. Like who needs that? You never know. When breakfast on the go and you don't have time, leave it to Nintendo. They'll do it. They'll make it. Smash Brothers, yes. Yes.
I think them doing the Mii's in Super Smash Brothers is a little. I mean, I think that they're still kind of forcing Mii's down our throat, but at the same time, it's like at least it isn't just you only can be a same kind of Mii, just all fist fighters. You have the fist fighting Mii, you have the sword Mii, and then you have the like laser gun Mii. But it's kind of like, all right, well, is it going to be separate move sets, or is it going to be so ridiculously similar to like Mario, Link, and Samus that it's pretty much just those same moves, but you can make it look like you? I mean, that didn't really appeal to me. But again, I know a lot of people have wanted the Mii's in Super Smash Brothers just because it's kind of like, well, I want to be a character.
Yeah. I think that's why they implemented the move customizations. Like you can have a different type of fireball with Mario. You can stylize your other moves. That's probably why they did that. And also, there's like a bunch of different moves within the same character that you will probably still be able to customize as well. So I think it'll all still be this random, this ball of weird stuff going on like Smash Brothers has always been. You just never know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope it's not just like, I hope it feels like more than just a clone of Brawl, but put onto the Wii U.
Yeah. From now, what I would really like to see is because Melee is still the crowd favorite. Like to this day, Melee is still the crowd favorite. But
It
if
is.
they some type of option to change the game speed, then everybody would just fall in love with this new one, and they probably wouldn't play Melee at all anymore. If you could like change the game speed to where it would match Melee, or like even release an update or something, or just go ahead and fix it. I'm not asking for downloaded content, all right? But if they can put that in there to change the game speed, faster, slower, whatever the case is, then that would be perfect. That amiibo thing is pretty cool too. Where it's like ghost play for like other fighting games, like even racing games where you can like challenge your ghost, it just remembers what you did. That's pretty awesome. That's really really awesome.
I had a friend on Twitter say, though, that he's like, I think they really missed something. They could have, instead of Amiibo, they should have had it be Amigo. Because I think that would have, and I have to agree with him. I think they missed a pretty good opportunity there for that.
Yeah.
That's too easy though.
Yeah.
That
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Hmm. Well,
was,
time for a Yoshi's game, I guess, but
it's like a yarn reboot of Yoshi's Island though. It's not really that different. Not it doesn't look that different. Just like
I am excited for it, though. It looked so, like, just happy and fun.
yeah. It kind of it looks kind of how the new Yoshi on the 3DS, how it looks. It got stuff just like made with jump. That one is really fun actually on the 3DS.
Yeah, how they did, it's kind of like more of a, like, 3D epic yarn, but Yoshi instead.
I think it's cool though. I think it's pretty cool. You, they reboot stuff so much, but it's still good. I love Nintendo. Oh my god. Oh, those weirdos. The Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda.
yes, yes.
Surprisingly, this year no one cried. They all cries on the Zelda announcement. I remember when they announced
I,
it, there were people crying.
um, I, I was sitting there and I was looking at it and I was like, this looks like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker mashed together.
Uh-huh.
And they've finally gone open world with it. I was just sitting there and I was like, I think I've already said, oh, I would buy a PS4 just for this. I would buy a Xbox One just for this. That was my Wii U moment with the Zelda. I was like, I will buy that and Splatoon. I was like, here's my money, Nintendo.
Yep. I'm at right now. Like, I still just have a 360, PS3, and a Nintendo Wii. But right now, I'm like, Nintendo, take my money. I thought I was gonna get a PS4 first, but this year, this E3 right now said, oh no, you're getting a Wii U. You're getting a Wii U. I have 4 reasons right now to get a Wii U. One is that Smash Bros. We just talked about. Is Legend of Zelda, which was so good. That
Oh.
was so good. Oh my gosh, it looked so good. Splatoon looked so awesome. That little squid with the ink game, that looked.
Yeah.
That's new. That's a new thing. We haven't seen that yet. I really like that idea. That's idea number 2. That was so cool. I thought that was so cool.
I mean, yeah, it's new, it's fresh. Like the idea it's really cute. I think they really got something good. I mean, it's nice to see new, like, the developers were like newer people, and the entire idea, like there wasn't one part of that entire concept that I kind of was like, I was just, it was so awesome, and I loved every second of what I saw of it.
And man, so I'm sold on Nintendo right now. Like I'm sold. Like take my money. Just shut up and take it.
Hmm.
But Splatoon, and last but not least, where they introduced Xenoblade Chronicles.
Isn't it about time, though?
Hmm.
I had to stop and raise my hands and just say thank you, Jesus. I stopped what I was doing. I paused. I paused the video. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And that was the deciding factor for me. I was like, okay, all right, yeah, that's it. That's what we doing. Got it. So, pre-order. So what I'll probably end up doing is just pre-ordering the Smash Bros. Copy or something. 'Cause I know they're gonna make a bundle. They had no choice but to make a bundle. The Smash Bros. In it. That one, or even the Legend of Zelda one, which is gonna be way till next year, or there's Hyrule Warriors, which that's number 5. I'm buying it. I don't care. I'm buying it. Nobody can tell me I'm not buying it because I'm buying it. I dare somebody to tell me I'm not buying it.
Hyrule Warriors for me was like, this sounds like an idea that didn't need to happen, but I'm stupid excited for it anyway, and I can't really explain why. Probably because of Midna. But
Yeah, that was me. That was me too. And she's playable.
oh yeah.
All we need now is a Goron to be playable too.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, did they say if Ganondorf was?
They showed him, but they didn't say if he's gonna be playable. So
He
I'm not.
should be.
If he's not immediately playable, he'll probably be like an unlockable kind of, work your way up to being able to play as him.
He'll probably be like the strongest, most OP guy in the game because he is Ganon.
We saw a little bit from Pokemon.
Which I just actually watched. I can't believe I didn't watch it sooner, but not much for gameplay. It looks like X and Y,
Yep.
Yeah.
which we expected. There's a
Yeah.
cool trailer for it. You gotta admit, the 10-year-old kid running around through the jungle and through the caves, and that was kind of cool.
I was so excited because for a second I was like, are they actually going to just steal all of E3 and show us Pokemon Snap for the Wii U? But
Okay.
so I was a little bit let down by that. But yeah, I do agree. It looks like X and Y.
But it looks like maybe some of it was upgraded a little bit, but really X and Y just came out a year ago. We shouldn't have been expecting to see it much more than what it was. So,
Yeah.
as a huge Pokemon fan, I am going to buy both of them, obviously. No
I
questions. So,
really wish they would have like back with it when they rebooted Soul Silver and Heart Gold and all those.
Yeah,
I wish they would have remade that middleman version instead of the Gold and Silver. I wish
like
really
just
on that.
the expansion that they always do. Like they should have done Emerald instead of Ruby
Yes,
and Sapphire. They should have just done Emerald, and they should have done Crystal instead of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
that's how,
Yes, Crystal, I would have bought.
that's if I was the business guy around here, I would do it that way. But I'm just a gamer.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot of people out there that will buy both versions.
That's true.
It's stupid to say, but most of us are in our 20s now, still playing Pokemon, and we will buy both.
We we we're grown ups. We can do that.
Exactly.
We
We
can.
have jobs.
Yeah, having a job helps. You can't tell me I'm childish for buying something I love. I pay taxes.
Yep.
I like it or not. And
Kirby
plus,
and the Rainbow Curse looks great too.
what was it?
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
God, I
You
love Kirby.
know what that made me? That reminded me of a game that worked very well back on the Game Boy Color, the Rumble game of Kirby that rolled around and you took the game and you can shake it and he jumps. What was that game called? Uh, it was on the Game Boy Color and it was a Kirby game and it was just like it was so cool. He would roll, and you can shake the game and make it jump. Oh, that was so awesome. That's what that reminds me of. It's like a sequel to that or something. And
Hmm.
it was really, I thought it was really neat. And you just
Well, I
draw.
know it's tied to Canvas Curse.
It was so
I never
cool.
got to play Canvas Curse, but I want to. Um, Mario Maker got confirmed.
I don't care about that. I really didn't care for that.
No.
Yeah, it
You,
looked like just the same, like cut and paste, kind of rearrange your own Mario levels. It just didn't look. I mean,
it
the
was,
ability to switch back and forth between like that old school Super Mario look and like the new Super Mario look was cool, but that was kind of the extent of the excitement for me with it.
It
oh, that,
shouldn't be a standalone game. It should be an addition to a new Mario game. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be you buy a disc to build levels. It should be like I'm kind of tired of playing this Mario game. Play I'm going to make my own level for a few minutes. Like really? A whole game just for this.
and you know what? There was somebody who had that released on online already. It kind of looked the same as what they showed too. I can't remember the guy's name, but he had that same exact thing going. And it was building a Mario stage, and Nintendo kind of made a big deal out of it, and they made him shut it down. They didn't directly go to him about it, but they made him shut it down. Or like they were going to sue him or whatever. And soon thereafter, da 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 da, Mario Maker. It kind of looks the same as what his other guy had, but it was our idea. Da 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 da.
So
Hey,
you can buy it.
Nintendo likes to do that.
I thought that was pretty shiesty. That wasn't very cool, but I mean, it's not something that I want anyway, so I don't. I guess I don't really care.
Yeah.
Not really like that. I don't care for that. I really don't. But
What about Bayonetta 2?
oh yes, I like the way you think, Alex. I like the fact that they're making it a bundle. That Bayonetta 1 and 2 in the same nice little wrapping. I
Yeah.
like that. Bayonetta 2 is gonna be a big deal. I think so. That's a problem, guys, man. I'm gonna marry Bayonetta. I don't want to have to go to hell to do it though. Like, can you come up here for a minute first, please?
I think we covered everything except new Star Fox at the very, very end.
That's cool. When was the last time we didn't have a Star Fox in the Wii?
No, we had Star Fox in GameCube. That was the last time we had Star. Well, they did Star
There was
Fox
a 3DS,
on
the
3DS,
N64 one.
but that was again, yeah, like you said, Star Fox 64, but portable on the 3DS. So
Yeah.
I think Nintendo has their way of telling us stuff. Like, we're gonna make a new something, so we're just gonna make the old version of a new something on the 3DS. That's gonna
Yep.
be good.
And then, yeah, that's how it works.
Like they made the Ocarina of Time remake. Oh, new Zelda. I mean, but they're gonna make a new Zelda anyway. They make too much money off Zelda. Not just that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that this year they focused on the Wii U. Like there wasn't just 3DS after 3DS after 3DS. There was a lot of focus on the Wii U, which is what they need.
They have to focus on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because the 3DS is doing very, very well.
Yeah, you don't have to sell us a 3DS anymore. We all have one. Sell us the Wii U. Well, not all of us, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's enough of them out there. You don't have to sell those anymore. You have to sell the Wii U.
Yeah, we're already sold on the 3DS. You don't need to keep selling it to us. Sell us on your new thing.
Yeah.
In case there's Smash Brothers and there's Pokemon coming out on the 3DS, just in case. That's all.
Yeah, just in case you have doubts that you should buy a 3DS if you don't already have one, which you all probably do. Here's two other things that you would want. Yeah, but they put a lot of focus on the Wii U, which was really good.
Nintendo did the best out of everybody.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what's everybody's overall opinion for this E3?
Well, this year we didn't have the big console wars thing. Like, it was still sort of there, but it's kind of out of the way. Like, the consoles are all out. Now we're just kind of waiting to see what everybody's going to bring to the table with them. And it really wasn't all that climactic. There wasn't really a big, defining moment for anyone except Nintendo.
Yeah, I think Nintendo did the best. There was no Fallout 4. They showed Doom, the Doom teaser, which was okay by me, but it was like, my God, on every tweet that Bethesda posted, whether it was from their store, from Elder Scrolls Online, any single tweet that they made, everybody was just replying with, "Where's Fallout 4? Why no Fallout 4? You know what was cool? When you announced Fallout 4. Oh wait, you didn't." So a lot of people there was a lot of rage. But
you know what else though? I felt kind of like they brought up The Last Guardian being canceled so that they could use that as publicity.
Yeah.
To say that they were going to announce something and then they didn't, which was just stupid. Like, why is this game still not out? Why is it not? Why haven't we seen a trailer for it in 5 years?
Have you, there was an article that IGN posted about making a false claim of the cancellation of The Last Guardian. So that very well mean that it's not canceled. It very well mean that. But they haven't showed anything either. I mean, maybe they're really, really just trying to keep it under wraps because of, I don't know, they've been through 2 generations with it already, so maybe they're really just trying to refine it. Who knows? I'm making excuses for them, so whatever.
They should have shown something. Something.
I don't know. At this point, I was mad at IGN several times through E3. Once was when they showed Far Cry 4, and they were like, "Oh, it should be like Skyrim with dragons," and I'm like, "Stop trying to add dragons to everything." And then somebody asked them, they're like, "Oh, well, what do you think of the exclusive timed DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition?" And they were like, "Oh, well, we didn't see anything on it, so we can't say." And it's like they weren't asking you what you thought of the concept and story and look of the DLC. They were asking you what you thought about it being exclusive. But again, if they said anything bad, they'd get in trouble. So that's the problem with websites like that.
Yeah. This is why you look at websites like Gamer Frolic, because nobody pays us to say anything good about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, nobody pays us to say, "Oh yeah, this game is great," even though they secretly hate it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guarantee you, if by any chance Gamer Frolic got big enough for somebody to offer us money to do reviews and only could give reviews, I would turn it down in a heartbeat. There would not be a second thought. So that's why you go to gamerfrolic.com.
Well, yeah.
I have to head out soon though. So I'll just
Yeah,
give
me
my
too.
last like 2 cents for it. I think this E3. Yeah, well, there wasn't anything that was big and climactic. You know, a lot of, well, pretty much everything we saw, we kind of already knew existed, with the exception of like Little Big Planet and things like that. And like the Nintendo stuff. Um, what I loved about this E3 was that because we had all the console war stuff out of the way, it was about games,
Yeah.
and it was about games being. So often we saw like bright, exciting, fun, goofy, whimsical, magical games. And it's like, I think we've gotten kind of wrapped up in everything needs to have like this soul crushing story and like this horrifically intense, gritty, like destroy your soul gameplay, or, you know, everyone needs to be looking down a scope. That we've kind of escaped from, that games are allowed to be just something that you sit down and play for the sake of fun. And I'm glad to see that a lot of people are responding to it positively, and that they're not saying, oh, you know, what's this kiddie stuff, garbage, you know, like a lot of people initially said about Project Spark. They're like, oh, what's this kids game, you know, like, you were a kid once too, and you played games like that, and you are not immune to having fun with games like that.
Yeah. I agree. Stamp of approval on that statement.
I agree with you.
All right, so you got any last notes, Adam?
Yeah. Nintendo's number one. I'm really looking forward to what's coming in the near future. With Nintendo, I'm pretty much sold. With Metal Gear Solid, I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see this Xbox shine. Like I said, I'm not a Microsoft guy, but this Xbox, it really can still shine. And I really want to see that move forward. And like this whole, I like the whole piece of this conference this year. There was peace this conference. There wasn't any, well, your system sucks, this system sucks. There wasn't any console war, like Alex said. It was all over. I love that.
Falling, mudslinging.
I was really hoping for innovation. Like it's been almost a year since these consoles have been out, and like people are still figuring them out. So I'm ready to see how they can change things. I know they said a couple things about the PlayStation Now, the PS TV and stuff like that. These peripherals, the Amiibo, like all these things. I'm ready to see some innovation. But all in all, E3 was I'd say like a six out of 10. There wasn't really any innovation. Most of the points came from Nintendo, but hey, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed it.
I think we can all agree that Nintendo won this year.
Yeah,
Just because we wanted it to win. We all wanted it to do good, and we weren't expecting it to, and it did.
they deserve a win.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I was gonna say I haven't gotten behind a Nintendo system in a good long while, and, you know, as a non-exclusive gamer, that was the Wii U was kind of the last on my list. And now I would say that for what I've seen, I mean, even from Microsoft with the Xbox One, you know, the Xbox One was previously last on my list of stuff to buy, and the PS4 was in the lead. But now I think that I'm kind of juggling between all three, and, you know, what I want to get first alongside with building my PC. So it's going to be a tough decision for me.
Power to the players.
Yep. All right, so is that it? We're all good?
Good.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I guess we'll be doing more videos between now and next E3, but E3 is always a good time for us to get together and talk about games. It's like it's like Christmas for gamers before Christmas. So, yeah, we'll talk again next year.